What's up everyone and welcome back to Pokemon Insurgence. I'm so glad that we're back to this music, you know, because I totally didn't miss this music from Pokemon Zeta and Omicron. I think in Zeta and Omicron, like, 9 out of 10 of the towns had this music. So I'm so glad that it's back in this game, and hopefully it's in every single town, because I'm sure not gonna get tired of it. Sarcasm. Anyway, guys, last time we got here, this is actually the first town in the game. So in the last episode, even though it was kind of long, I guess it was kind of like a prologue, we were a Darkrai cultist, and now we, I guess, more so begin our adventure. So I was talking to this guy, and a few of you actually mentioned to me that he says that you can change your clothes in the Pokemon Center, as well as some other stuff, like that there is a store in the top floor of the Pokemon Center. So, of course, I wasn't paying attention at the very end of the video. I'm glad that we have that understanding, though, now that you guys know that half the time I'm not paying attention to the dialogue. As I say that, I'm literally not paying attention to what that guy just said, so isn't that awesome? Either way, if you guys are excited for this episode, be sure to leave a like, and I'm gonna hit you guys with daily videos, hopefully, on this series at least, and hopefully double daily once I beat the Battle Mason, which has been terrorizing my days forever now. Not really forever, but for the last few days, the Battle Mason has just been destroying my soul. I really am growing to hate that place because, I don't know, I get to like 40-ish something streak, and you need 50 to get that Wally battle, that last episode of Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, so that will come eventually, hopefully later today. I don't know, because it might come later today if I do manage to get that, so I don't know. Just look out for it. It'll come out eventually, but until then, we're gonna have just these videos, and then eventually I'm gonna do some other series on top of this one. Like, I'm thinking of bringing back some old ones, as well as maybe starting up a new one, but after I finish up some of my old ones. So for those of you that have been asking about my old series, then that is your answer for now. It's kind of vague, but I want it to be vague because I really don't know what I'm gonna do next, but yeah. Anyway, this place looks like it sells clothes, so hope you can find different clothes you want to wear. What would you like to purchase? We want some hair, man. I'm done with this purple hair. I've got the black hair. That's my color of hair, so it makes sense. But then again, you know, I've always wanted to be a blue-haired boy, so we could hit up the blue hair. I don't know if this was one of the original options, but we're gonna go with that blue hair. I was gonna say we're gonna glow with that blue hair, but that wouldn't really make sense, would it? Whoa, look at that. You got a little icon, too. The orange shirt, of course we got. Gosh dang it, I'm out of money. Well, that's awesome. Where do we change our clothes? Welcome. What would you like? Okay, maybe they're actually in our bag already. I'm gonna hope that it's in our bag. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we can actually use the hair dye, and boom, we've got that blue hair now. Isn't that great? Eventually, I'm going to try to buy some different clothes. It's actually kind of cool because if you guys didn't watch the original Pokemon Zeta and Omicron series that I did a custom, like, since it's a fan game, you can do a lot of stuff customizing it, which, you know, I have to actually do. But I asked you guys for sprites, and eventually, a few of you guys helped me out in making my own custom Pokemon trainer sprite. So I guess we could try and do that with this game, but I want to try and use more of what the game actually gives us. So, you know, we'll get that orange shirt, we'll eventually dye our hair black or brown, I'm not sure, because, I mean, black hair is, like, my actual hair is black, but I think in a game it might look better brown, so, I don't know. I actually finally looked up what the augur is. I guess it's kind of like a prophet. It's like in ancient Rome, it was like a religious figure that, I guess, had visions or said what was going to happen in the world based on natural events, so it wasn't really visions or anything, but I don't know if in this game it's the exact same thing. It's probably that. It's kind of like the prophet of their world. He's kind of like the world leader, but more on a religious level, I guess, instead of a government kind of level. So either way, I guess we'll just call it the Hokage. So the second Hokage, that's the guy with the blonde hair, with the long little ponytail. And we need to go get my starter Pokemon, man. I've been delaying this for too long. We are going to go get our starter Pokemon today. I just kind of wanted to check out all of these houses because there's a lot of stuff. The Augur's coming into our little town. He's like the leader of the region. I heard he has a Salamence, yo. Look at that kid. What is hip and happening? He's telling us about the words of this generation and also explaining to us that it is basically just the leader of the region. So just think of him as Barack if Barack had, psychic powers of some kind, and a Salamence, I guess. Even though, I mean, I guess not all of you guys that watch these videos are in the US, but, you know, talking about my US homies right now. If you guys are somewhere else, then think of it as your world leader, because I'm not really sure who each leader of each country is. So I'm just talking about Barack because he's the only one that I really know. I mean, I know some other ones, but, you know, getting into the specifics of all of those, there's a lot of world leaders out there, and I'm sure, you know, each of them are awesome in their own way, but the Augur, he's my man. The second Hokage, he's who I really believe in. Do you have a Pokemon? I really don't. I should really go get one, though. He has a bunch of Eevees, so let's go check out his bunch of Eevees. Whoa, the slow-mo walk here. What is going on? Somebody just hit us with that freeze ray. Listen, Professor, these Pokemon, they're freaks. Oh, you can't do that. You cannot. Come on. It's like the first rule of Pokemon. You can't call them freaks. They're going to get mad and kill you. It's American Horror Story. No other Pokemon trainer would ever accept them as a part of their team, and we can't afford to keep them any longer. All I ask of you is to keep them. You already keep thousands of Eevee as is. Surely these 3 Pokemon won't be a bother to you. What is up with this guy and his obsession with Eevees, though? Thousands of Eevees that he's keeping there. It's true, I'm merciless. I've done horrible things, but there is a difference between mercilessness and needless death. Hello? Oh, it's Shofu. What's up, Shofu? Now, I know Shofu started this game too, so that'll be interesting. I want to see what he does in this game differently to what we do here. At least for teams. I like it when people like do the same playthroughs at the same time because I always like to compare what everyone is doing in their playthrough. So it'll be really cool to do that. I'm Damien and this is Mose. We're here to get a Pokemon so we can go into the forest. And I guess it's probably going to be one of these freaks that he's talking about. Sylvan, if you don't take these Pokemon, I'll release them, and they're sure to die in the wild. Or we could take them, you know, we're 2 hip and hampin' and young Pokemon trainers. Why does our backpack look like a potion? I've just noticed that. I would rather avoid needless death. If it comes down to it, you can just give them to these kids, right? Yep, perfect. Put them on the table. Very well. Laying him on the table. That is cruel. That is animal cruelty right there, man. Excuse me. Why are we in such slow-mo right now? I forgot this little kid's name. So yes, we are in need of some Pokemon. Let's go get him, that man that was in here just now. He was one of my colleagues in university. He's a smart man and a great scientist. He's also the leader of one of those cults and is responsible for the deaths of thousands of people. Uh-huh. Okay, and he's worried about 3 little Pokemon being released into the wild. You gotta be kidding. Come on. Those people are evil, Professor. You shouldn't be talking to them, let alone be accepting gifts from them. Well, you know, he didn't actually accept the gifts. The guy just literally left them there. Have you ever heard of a Delta Pokemon? So this is a thing returning from Zeta and Omicron, which I didn't really explore because I didn't know much about the Delta Pokemon. I think we got like 1 Delta Pokemon, or maybe we didn't get any, but I guess, well, he hasn't heard of them anyway, so this guy's gonna explain it for us. Delta Pokemon were based on an idea scientists had about Pokemon a while ago. They're Pokemon that have DNA or different DNA than normal ones. They have different type than they normally would. A good example would be an electric type Dragonite or a water type Porygon. That is weird. I mean, the water type Porygon is okay, but an electric type Dragonite, what is that? What is wrong with you? I'm not sure what type they are, but they seem to be genetic experiments of Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. And so our starters are revealed. They're scientific marvels. Letting a Delta species Pokemon die would be terrible to me. Now, normally I would give you an EVS Pokemon to start off on your journey. However, it seems that there are 3 more options for you to choose from. These Delta Pokemon that the cult leader gave me. Well, nobody wants a freak for a Pokemon. Can't imagine that most trainers would want to be friends with a Delta Pokemon. I really don't see what's wrong, honestly. A Pokemon that will never know friendship is a sad, sad thing indeed. So I will offer you this. You may choose one of these 3 Delta Pokemon to be your companion. And each of us gets one, so there's going to be still 1 last Delta Pokemon that's probably going to be abandon and die eventually, or, you know, maybe not die, but he will live a sad, sad life with no friendship, as the professor here is saying. But apparently we can also have the Eevee that I normally reserve for trainers, so you have 4 options, one of the Deltas or Eevee. If you want the Eevee, simply talk to me, otherwise choose your Pokeball. Well, you know, as much as I like Eevee, and I thought that was going to be a cool starter, come on, Delta Pokemon, bro. You gotta pick the Delta Pokemon. You can pick, but hurry up. We don't know when the Augur is arriving. He's probably already here. Just ruining your fun there. I don't know your name. I forgot your name. Why can't I talk to you? I want to know your name, bro. Ah, no. Well, I'm not gonna pick Eevee. I don't want the Eevee. What the mother? What is this? What is that? What is going on? This is the Fairy and Psychic type Delta Bulbasaur. That sounds very, very tempting, actually. Oh my goodness. What? Oh, what? Oh, a Skull Greymon coming out, and whatever that is. Honestly, Charmander and Bulbasaur both look very tempting right now. I'm not too sure about Bulbasaur or Squirtle, because what is happening? Is it a Ninja Turtle? Like Dark Ninja Turtle here? I don't know what's happening with that one, so not a big fan. But this Fairy and Psychic Bulbasaur, now that sounds cool. But then again, the Charmander does look really nice. Oh man. Decisions. I'm about to flip a coin, but I don't have a coin, so instead I'll flip this SD card. So heads is Delta Charmander, tails is gonna be Delta Bulbasaur. Here we go, everybody. We got tails. So Bulbasaur it is. They both look really cool, honestly. Oh man, I'm really not sure. Yes, we're gonna go for it. We're gonna go for it, man. You know, the Charmander looked really cool. And now we gotta think of a nickname too. This Fairy and Psychic type Bulbasaur. The Abomination. That's what we're gonna name this guy. The Abomination. That is what he is. He's gonna turn into a real Abomination. That gives us the chance for this little guy to pick Charmander though. So we do get to see both of them. Because if I would have picked Charmander, he would have had Squirtle, I believe. So yeah, we want him to have that Charmander so that we can get to see how Charmander looks at least when he evolves and stuff. That Delta Charizard is gonna look really scary, I feel. Before we go out into the Shade Forest, how about a battle? It'll be the perfect time to test our new Pokemon. Let's go! Yeah, let's go, man. I'm ready for it. I think Bulbasaur was a better option in the end because if we would have picked Charmander, we would have never gotten to see what that... Oh my gosh, look at that little Delta symbol too. Whoa, they really stepped up the graphics here. I like this. From Zeta and Omicron. I'm actually kind of glad I picked Bulbasaur though. He looks cool. I don't know, Charmander looks cool too, but cool in like a different way that I'm not a fan of. So this is Ghost and Dragon Bulbasaur. So we're actually gonna have the advantage. Well, actually they counterbalance each other because the Ghost would be good against our Fairy, or against our Psychic, but then our Fairy would be good against his Dragon. What is that? Attack 6/6? Come on, man. Can't do that. That's cool though, they show the stat lowerings and stat boosts, so that's a little bit handy. Especially if you don't know, I guess a little bit of Pokemon Showdown there. This battle background is kind of weird though. It's like we're in a weird trip going on right now. But we beat him. I still don't know his name because I wasn't looking, but I'm sure we'll see it soon. Do you think maybe you could take on a gym someday? Alright, Mose, here's the deal. I'm gonna head north into Shade Forest. At the northern end of the forest is a really large cave, and in the middle of that cave is the rare stone we're looking for. Head into the forest and into the cave. I'll meet you there. See ya later, guy. That sucks that I didn't see his name. Let me think really quick, because I'm sure that I can remember his name. Now we'll just call him Toby, because I can't remember, so he's just gonna be Toby. Can I talk to you for a moment? The man that was in here today was the leader of Perfection, one of the 5 cults. Oh, that's the one, the more mysterious one. I think that they might be trying to take control of Giratina, because I know that Giratina is one of the main legends of this game, along with Mew, if I'm not mistaken. Could be mistaken though. Because he was so willing to spare the lives of Pokemon, you might think he's not such a bad person. But you have to understand, the cults do not value human life. They're responsible for the deaths of thousands. Overestimating their kindness is a mistake that could lead to your death. Just sending you fair warning. Beware the cults. They are not something to underestimate. Now, that being said, I have a gift for you. Yay, Pokédex time. Man, these cults sound like serious business though. We're gonna show them the backside of our hand though, if you know what I'm saying. We're gonna slap him, that's what I'm saying. Anyways, now that you've gotten that, you should be all set to go on your adventure. Head up north to Telnur Cave, deep in the forest, and remember my warning. Cool, man. I've got this. Me and Delta Bulbasaur are about to tear some cults apart. Abomination is still undecided for whether or not traveling with us is good. Well, let me tell you, Abomination, you are off better than that little Squirtle. Whatever that Squirtle was, I don't know. Maybe I'll do a different playthrough of this game eventually and pick Squirtle, because I have no idea. What type was it even? It was like dark and fighting or something, so... I was about to say it was Greninja, but Greninja's dark water? Greninja kind of looks like a... Well, I guess it's obviously a water type, but Greninja looks like it could have been a fighting type too. Like, I thought Greninja was going to be a water and fighting type, and that Chestnut... Well, before we saw Chestnut, I thought it was going to be like a grass and steel? Nah, it doesn't really look like a steel type. I don't know. But Greninja definitely does look like a water and fighting, not really water dark. But then again, he is kind of like a ninja, so I can understand why they made him the way that he is, but why they made Abomination here the way that he is something that I probably will never understand. But I like that we have Confusion as one of our starting moves here. It's actually really strong, so it's good. What is that? 0.5. How come we got 0.66 earlier when we lowered our attack? That's weird. I don't know. I don't know, man. I guess we'll be learning, but we just got the Pokegear randomly, just like that. So we could have just skipped the Pokegear. Literally could have skipped it. Whoa! This region looks awesome. I also like the music in the background. It's got a nice vibe to it. So what is this place here? Got like a Starling City going on. Helios City. Helios City. Wasn't that a place in the Zeta and Omicron world? This is Dewford Town over here. Whirl Islands. What the heck? Aren't those an actual thing? Wow, what this music is nice. I like it. But as far as I know, this game only goes up to 3 gyms, so I don't know how much of this region we're going to be exploring for the meantime, but it will definitely be updated in the future. I'm looking forward to actually beating this whole game, because so far the setup for it is very cool. And obviously we got the day and night cycle right now, so Abomination here is at his prime time with the darkness. Well, it's not that dark right now. It's more like a nice dawn going on, or not dawn, dawn is the morning. A nice dusk setting going on, the pink light. Come on! Really, the paralysis too? Alright, we really need to do some training though, because we're getting destroyed right now. I might go back and heal up actually, because this forest looks like it might be kind of tough to get through. I am starting to regret the decision of wasting all my money on blue hair dye, but you know, a little bit too late to go back on that. And we have a battle with a hiker already. Look at that with his nice cane rolling around. He's probably hitting little kids with that. That's not a good thing to say. Well, you know, I don't know why I just assume whenever I see like an old man with a cane, he's gonna be like, "You little whippersnappers, get off my lawn." Right now we're on this hiker's lawn, so I'm gonna start at least waving his cane at us, you know. So he's just waving. Look, he's a nice guy. He's not one of those the guys I was talking about. He's not one of those old men that would wave his cane at you. He's just waving his hand instead, you know. He's a nice hiker, man. It is really hot in here. I feel like I mentioned that in every video, but I guess it's because I just heat myself up when I'm commentating these videos. I don't know if that actually does like generate a lot of energy, but I feel like at least a lot of like radio hosts and things like that are always really hyped up. Like they're always really energetic, and they say that to an extent that actually helps them. Like, I mean, not really weight loss or anything, but you sweat a lot, and that I guess can just help. I don't know where I'm going with this honestly, but sorry, I've got like a raspy voice right now, so if you hear me cough up a storm later on, you know why. But yeah, I was like, I read about that at some point. I don't remember when. That like radio hosts, just like not really radio hosts, but just if you're working in something like where you have to commentate, I don't know. I really don't know what I'm trying to say. Maybe one of you guys understands where I'm trying to go with it, but I think this cave up here is actually where we came from, and I'm not sure if that's where our little rival friend wants us to go. So even if it is, I'm gonna head up this way, because this way seems more interesting. But the whole story was leading to the fact that it is really hot in here, and when I'm sitting here not making videos, it's actually okay. Like it doesn't get very hot, but when I'm actually recording, it gets really hot. Like I actually start sweating. So I guess what I was trying to say is just the commentating for some reason, I guess, gets me all warmed up. Like if I was stretching for exercising, because I've been doing some cardio workouts, and like after stretching, my body heats up and I start kind of breaking a little sweat. So it's kind of the same thing when I'm making videos, at least here. When I'm over in Lincoln and it's freaking so cold, of course none of that happens, but here it is like 80 something degrees, so that happens quite a lot. So yeah, that is the stat modifiers. What I'm trying to understand is why earlier we had a 0.66. Like I thought stats always get lowered by a 0.5. So like when you go up a stat, you know, it's a 0.5. When you go down a stat, it's a minus 0.5. But we had a minus 0.66 earlier, so that was kind of weird. Maybe it was our speed though. I think he did lower our speed. Hey, this forest is dangerous. It's not safe for kids like you. Oh, wait, I think I know why. Yeah, wait, no, I don't know actually. I was gonna say, like, if it's 0.66, it didn't get lowered by a 0.5. It got, like, lowered half of the 0.5. Maybe that's it. Maybe not. I don't know. Now I'm confusing myself, but we did see, there it is again. So I guess like when a stat drops, because it can't go to 0.5, because then you would be in negative defense, and I don't think you can have negative defense. Can you? Maybe you can have negative stats. I doubt that you can have negative stats, but you can have a negative status drop. Man, I'm just confusing myself all over, and the one that's confused is this Apom. It's not even me, so I don't know why I'm the one that's getting confused right now. But when a stat gets lowered, it's see, now it's 0.5 though. So, you know what? I'm gonna stop here. Someone in the comments that can help me out, it would be awesome, greatly appreciated, very nice. I'm gonna miss. Okay, well that is great. Thankfully, we picked up a bunch of potions earlier on, so we could use those. We've got 8 potions total right now, so nice hefty amount of potions, not potions here. But man, oh my goodness, when you actually see the status drops is when, like, I never really realized when my stats are getting dropped in Pokemon, but now that I actually see that my stats are visually getting dropped here, it is so much more noticeable. So I'm not sure that I like this being here. It's making me feel a lot worse knowing that my Pokemon is that weakened right now. Even though it isn't that weakened. It's -1 attack, -2 defense, and -1 accuracy. So I don't know, just seeing the numbers makes it feel like it's much worse than it might actually be. Like, at least for that accuracy drop, it makes me feel like I'm gonna miss my attacks 6 out of 10 times because of that 0.66, when really, I don't think it works that way. So let's make quick work of this Nidoran, get ourselves some more EXP, because it looks like we might need it. I've kind of been getting the back of my hand hit here. I was saying about the back of the hand earlier, so we'll use that now in the reverse way, even though that doesn't really make sense. Who slaps people with the back of their hand? Does anyone, like, who even slaps people in general? Unless, you know, I guess the only way that I've seen people get slapped is like when, in like movies, when a dude says something rude and then the girl's like, yo, I'ma slap you right up. And it's with the front of the hand. You don't slap people with the back of your hand, that's just rude. So you don't want to be rude when you're slapping people. Alright, let's see how this Fairy Wind fares against Ghastly here. I had a feeling, you know, but it was not a feeling that I've never felt before. It was a feeling that I had felt before, and it was that Fairy Wind was not going to be very effective. But I think Psychic doesn't even affect Ghost at all, so it's better to do that than nothing. We did get paralyzed once again though, so I think I might go heal up. I'm really hoping that we can get some more levels though. Is this guy a trainer that we didn't battle yet? Oh, we don't have a paralyzed heal, man. That sucks. I don't want to be paralyzed. It's bringing back memories of the Battle Mason, and I was not having a fun time in the Battle Mason. Yeah, I'm about to get crushed by this little boy here. Probably youngster Joey, ripping that Rattata. You don't look quite like a youngster. You look like a grown kid. Hey, it's Nate. It's not Joey. You know, I thought it was going to be Joey, but it turns out it's Nate instead. He's got the Bidoof. Look at that. Those Bidoof little eyes. It's like beady little eyes, but he doesn't really have beady eyes. He just has the eyes of madness. Like, Patrat looks like the guy that would go crazy at anywhere and just start punching people. That is what Patrat reminds me of. I'm making terrible analogies today. It is just not going well, and I think it might be just the fact the heat is getting to me, and I'm also coughing up a storm. So, just a lot of factors that are contributing to me. It is not going well today, okay? I'm a little bit heated though. Well, I was literally saying how I was heated, but I'm heated in the mental way as well because of the Battle Mason. Like, I have literally just been trying all day, maybe like, I don't know how many times I've tried the Battle Mason today, maybe like 3 times or something like that, and each time I lose like from 30 to 40. And I also say like a lot because I don't know where I'm going with this, but it just made me agitated, I guess. That's the kind of heated that I meant, but now I'm both heated and heated. Like, I'm mad and I'm hot, so not a good combination. I'm gonna go heal up this abomination of a Bulbasaur. Goodness, it is 81 degrees. I just looked it up as I was healing. That is not normal. Game of Thrones warned me that winter was coming, and I don't see winter. It is 81 degrees. Come on, it's a little bit extreme. Can we tone it down a little bit? You know, all of this could be solved if I just turned on the fan, but then you would probably hear the fan in the microphone, so that's why I usually don't put it on, and that's why it's usually hot while I'm recording. So probably has nothing to do with the fact that I'm commentating and getting heated up like that, burning them calories by talking That would be awesome. If I could just burn calories by making videos, that would be amazing. But unfortunately, that's not the way the world works. Look at that. It looks like I used a rare candy there because there was no experience on our Delta Bulbasaur for a second there. So we got a little Pokeball. Now we can maybe catch something else. Because, wait, now we have money because we battled some people, so we could buy some Pokeballs of our own. There's also a Super Potion up on that little patch of grass, but I think this is our final trainer here, Beauty Jane with the blue hair and the blue lips. She's rocking the blue. She's loving it. I'm loving it. McDonald's. That's it. This video was all an ad for McDonald's, and it took me that long to get to the actual advertisements. So I hope you guys enjoyed, you know. Go check out McDonald's, eat yourself. Actually, don't check out McDonald's. I haven't been to, like, a fast food in so long, I feel. Like, my mom brought Wendy's the other day, but I didn't eat from it. Not because I didn't want to eat Wendy's, because I'm not really against fast food or anything like that. I guess I just haven't been eating it because, I don't know. I have been eating at restaurants a lot, though, which is not really just as bad, but I eat a lot, at least, at restaurants, because usually they serve small portions, so I'll have a couple, or usually I'll just fill myself with appetizers, because usually appetizers are a lot more than a main course. Like, main courses usually are small. I don't know. Maybe depends on what kind of restaurant, you know? That's a thing, too. I don't like going to fancy restaurants, one, because they're expensive, and two, because what you pay for, you usually, the fancier the restaurant, like, you get a smaller portion, and maybe that's a proper portion, and I'm just used to big portions of food, because, I don't know, my mom always makes huge portions of food. Not really my mom, but, like, my grandmas, usually always when they made food, I would get, like, huge portions, so maybe I'm used to a lot, but even at normal restaurants, like, I'll go to a normal restaurant, normal price and just, like, I guess not that fancy, and they'll serve you, like, a lot of food, or at least a normal amount of food. But I feel like the fancier you go, the less food you get, and the higher the price goes. But I guess you're paying for quality, but honestly, when it comes to food, depends on what kind of food and how hungry I am. Usually, I'll go for the quantity, because I don't know, it's not even, like, that good, honestly, because we went to this, like, really, really fancy Asian restaurant, and I would much rather just go with my good old China, whatever restaurant it's called. I forgot what it's called. I think it's like China Great Taste or something is a restaurant that's near here. I don't think it has China in the name. I don't know. It's something like that. I would much rather go with that than that fancy restaurant because I got served like literally, I don't even remember what it was, but it was tiny and not the price that I thought. Like, for the price, I thought it would be a lot more. But enough ranting on restaurants. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Next time, we'll head into this cave with our buddy Abomination, who's pumped up and raring to go. That's how I feel about the Battle Mason, because I'm about to go kick some Battle Mason butt. So hopefully later, you'll see the last battle against Wally, the finale of Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. But this has been Munching Orange. I guess I'm doing a new outro here. Goodbye!